In Friday's edition of 2020 Daily Trail Markers, former Vice President Joe Biden says he thinks Thursday's third Democratic debate was a, quote, good night, but also says he could have done better. Biden made those comments during a fundraiser Friday in Houston. Earlier in the day, he visited the Student Center at the site of the debate, Texas Southern University, and was asked about a heated exchange he had with former Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Julian Castro. In that exchange, Castro attacked Biden on health care policy, appearing to suggest Biden could not remember details of his plan. Castro insists it was not an attack on his rival's age or ability. Here is how Biden addressed the subject Friday.
Secretary Castro said to you last night as a low blow, a cheap shot. He said it wasn't personal. How do you view what he said to you in your exchange?
I don't view it as anything.
Your campaign did call Castro's attacks a low blow. Is it fair for your rivals to play the age card?
Sure it is. I mean, look, last night was the closest we came to a debate, okay? We actually had an open debate on health care, and I felt very good about the debate on health care. What I saw last night is fewer and fewer personal attacks that were, was about what are we going to do in the future, including from you,
From me?
Yeah, no, I'm joking. But all kidding aside, so I think we're getting closer and closer to what I think everybody's looking for in the Democratic Party in the country, is what is our view of the future, who has the best view, who can best initiate it, who can best complete it, and that's what it should be about.
Let's bring in CBS News 2020 campaign reporter Bo Erickson. He is in Houston. Hi, Bo. So how is the Biden campaign trying to use this exchange between the former VP and Secretary Castro to its advantage?
Well, this fight over health care is the fight that they wanted. Yesterday, in a briefing beforehand, some senior Biden campaign officials said that we should expect Biden to maybe go on the offensive and do exactly what he did last night. The campaign, in my conversations with them and some of Biden's biggest backers today, say that that image with Sanders and Warren on both sides of Biden talking the same policy for healthcare, they're actually kind of motivated and strengthened Biden's message because he had his foils surrounding him all together. Castro is saying, as you mentioned, that his attack was on healthcare. Biden seems to be kind of playing along with that, but maybe thinks there's ulterior motives here. But once again, it allows Biden to talk about his healthcare message. He wants to keep the ACA with that public option. And one interesting way that he's talking about healthcare is how it has to do with unions. He wants to allow for unions to continue to negotiate their healthcare policies. And he says that is worth keeping public option ACA for.
So why does Biden think the Democratic Party is actually moving in the direction towards his health care plan?
We don't know exactly why he thinks that. I was maybe a little surprised to hear that myself, because it does seem like there is some momentum for Medicare for all. But maybe the argument was a little bit strengthened for him because he was one of the only people on stage talking negatively about Medicare for all. He's saying maybe a candidate like Amy Klobuchar is maybe following in his lane, even though she has some similar plan as well. But he thinks that he is the thought leader on healthcare, and that's where I will leave it.
All right. Okay. He also committed, though, to releasing his medical records. I want to play what he had to say about that. Let's listen.
Releasing your medical records to address concerns by...
I don't have, what the hell concerns, man? You want to wrestle?
When will you release them, sir?
Well, when I get the next physical. I'll release my, before there's a first vote, I'll release my medical records. There's no reason for me not to release my medical records.
So, but what is the strategy behind this move?
I'm just happy that he did not challenge me to wrestling at all, because I see him, he's a fit guy still on the trail, and I don't know if I could take him. The strategy, though, is that he is trying to be kind of more fun and lighthearted about some of these attacks or quasi-attacks on his age. He's not going to take this sitting down. Actually, yesterday, his campaign in that briefing made a point to tell the reporters that Biden is not the oldest person on this debate stage. That is Senator Sanders, who's a year older than him.
All right. Well, Bo Erickson, we thank you so much.